We're back now with the latest on the ongoing migrant crisis here in New York. The city and state continue to spar, and both sides faced off in court yesterday. NBC News Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley joins us with the latest. Julia, good morning. So we know tens of thousands of asylum seekers have come through New York City since the spring of last year. Explain to us what both the city and the state are fighting over. What are the big concerns here?
Well, the key words here is the right to shelter. That's something New York City has provided uniquely in this situation where anyone who comes through that city has the right to shelter. Now, up until this point, they've been able to provide that shelter. But as you know, recently, they've been running out of space. You've seen migrants sleeping outside on the streets outside of the Roosevelt Hotel. And now there's a fight between the state and the city, both run by Democrats, but the state saying that they shouldn't have to absorb any more of the immigrants that come out of New York City, that right to shelter is specific to the city. But the mayor, Eric Adams, saying that they are in a desperate situation. They need more help from the federal government and they need more help from the state. He wants to be able to push some of those migrants outside of the city further into the state. So they went to court yesterday to see where those lines could be drawn. The city trying to get the state to take on more, the state resisting that and saying that this is the state's the city's policy rather, and that they are the ones who need to make sure that they do find places for these people to live because the state simply can't absorb it. But bottom line, you're talking about a very large population here.
Yeah, so I mean, Mayor Adams says there are more than 59,000 asylum seekers at more than 200 sites around the 5 boroughs here in New York. What's been his reaction to the federal response?
Well, he's been pretty critical of it. He says that they need to be able to fast track migrants for asylum seekers for work permits. I will say, though, on that, it's really a law that you cannot apply for a work permit unless you've been seeking asylum for 6 months. So that means 180 days after people cross the border. And that puts the USCIS, the federal system, the federal agency that approves those work permits, in a bind because they can't even review work permits until that point. It doesn't matter how quickly they might fast track that. That's something they would need Congress to approve. The federal government's also sent more money. They just sent $770 million to New York and other cities that are taking in migrants, but they can't do more to be able to get these people faster through the asylum system because, first of all, they're not getting more money from Congress right now, although they did just ask for more money in a supplemental, and they simply can't get around these laws that hamper how quickly they could go. Another thing I'll point out is that 180-day rule applies for people who did turn themselves in at the border and claim asylum. If someone entered illegally, got past the system, it's a lot harder for them to figure out what rights they have access to right now, and it's really putting the city in a bind. But yes, Eric Adams saying federal government, the Biden administration absolutely needs to do more.
So this legal fight we're talking about, where does it go from here? What do we expect to see next?
Well, the next question will be whether or not this ultimately falls to the city to continue to implement or whether or not the state has any role in this. Right to shelter has been a New York City ordinance, not a state one. So it'll be interesting to see how this judge rules ultimately in a Democrat versus Democrat debate here. But I don't think this problem is going away. In fact, it'll heat up when people start going back to school. We know that these children in New York City, immigrant children, have the right to go to school. And as you know, those spots in New York City public schools can often be competitive. So this will definitely come to a head. In fact, we just saw a protest on Long Island this morning about this very issue. It's certainly heating up in New York City and around the area.
And we know you'll keep track of it. Julia, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.